Well, if we're looking at supply chain risk decision management, there's a key framework which we need to actually consider is what we call the temple of supply chain resilience. This is the foundation is effectively supply chain strategy. We then need to actually ensure that we have good product design for supply chain management. We then have 4 key pillars that we need to have in place. We need to have effective collaboration. We need to have agility. We need to have a culture where when people make decisions, they understand the impact it has across the overall supply chain. And we also need to think about the overall sourcing locations and supply chain design. Topping all that off is we need to have supply chain transparency, but also monitoring and intelligence. What we're meaning there is that if events occur, in the wider world or within the supply chain, people ask the question, how will this impact overall? The second thing you need to have is really a vision of what you're trying to do within the supply chain, which is led from the senior executives. It needs to be something which is part of the boardroom discussions. So when people are making decisions, they understand overall how that's going to actually impact. The third thing is using a language across the business that everybody understands. We don't talk about moving from, say, 95% to 98% availability. What we need to actually think about is, well, at the moment we're losing £500,000 worth of sales. We want to be able to reduce that to £400,000 worth of sales. Make sure you start raising awareness of supply chain events, get the communication structures in place and start embedding those things. Really getting transparency is a great place to start. So start actually getting some projects moving forward, start doing some mapping so you actually have transparency of what your supply chain processes look like. There's lots of resources available, so if people actually go and visit, for example, the Cranfield website, we have research clubs which are actually being utilised to look in these areas in more detail. But also, as many people know, there's plenty of stuff which I've put on the internet as well on this whole area. iTunes U course, which has supply chain risk management as an element in that.